Welcome to the world of science fiction stories, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe my channel. Enjoy the listening. The 3,000-year truce is over. Aliens fight. Humans laugh their way to victory. High Commander Vex Lore stood on the observation deck of the Imperial Dreadnought, Eternal Dominance, his forearms clasped behind his back in what his species considered a posture of supreme authority. The panoramic view before him displayed the vast expanse of stars that made up the Zenari Empire's territory, impressive to most sentient beings, but to Vex Lore, it was simply not enough. Never enough. 3,000 years, he muttered, his mandibles clicking in what passed for annoyance among his kind. 3,000 years of playing knights with those hairless bipeds. His aide, Lieutenant Marzal, approached with calculated caution. Anyone who had served under Vex Lore knew that his emerald skin turning a shade darker was the equivalent of a storm warning. High Commander, the War Council awaits your presence, Marzal said, bowing so low his cranial ridges nearly touched the polished floor. The representatives from the CX Confederation, the Yuan Hierarchy, and the Dorian Collective have all arrived. Vex Lore didn't turn. And what about the humans? Have they responded to our communication? They have, sir, Marzal replied, his voice dropping to a whisper. They sent a message that our translation matrix initially refused to process. Now Vex Lore turned, his massive frame casting a shadow over the cowering lieutenant. Explain. When we forced a translation, sir, it simply read, "Oh, good one, guys." Vex Lore's upper left eye twitched, a sign that had preceded the extinction of at least 2 lesser species in the past. They think we're joking. The Zenari Empire doesn't joke. We conquered 37 star systems before breakfast was even invented. The High Commander stomped across the deck, his heavy footfalls causing the reinforced metal to vibrate. The Galactic Coalition had maintained peace for 3 millennia, ever since the Accords of Proxima Centauri, a peace forced upon them by the humans and their inexplicable ability to make allies out of enemies. Do they think the destruction of our sacred moon of contemplation was some sort of cosmic accident? Vexor growled, spittle flying from between his serrated teeth. A human mining vessel accidentally converts our holiest site into an asteroid field, and they have the audacity to send us. What was it again? Lol, good one, guys. Marzal repeated, visibly trembling now. Right, and what does this lol translate to in proper galactic standard? Marzal swallowed hard. Our linguistics department believes it to be an acronym for laughing out loud, sir. It's an expression of amusement. Vex Lore's laugh, if you could call it that, sounded like metal being torn apart. Oh, they're amused, are they? They think this is funny. He leaned forward until his face was inches from Marzal's. Well, we'll see who's laughing when we activate the stellar annihilator. A silence fell over the observation deck. Sir, that the stellar annihilator is still theoretical technology, Marzal ventured, immediately regretting his words as Vex Lore's upper arm shot out and grabbed him by the throat. Not anymore, Vex Lore said, his voice deadly calm now. Our scientists have been working on it for the past 50 years in secret because he tightened his grip, someone needed to be ready for when the humans finally showed their true colors. He released Marzal, who gasped for air. The peace ends today, Lieutenant. For 3,000 years, they've had us dancing to their tune, making us believe we needed their friendship, their trade routes, their ridiculous entertainment broadcasts. Vexor sneered. No more. The Zenari Empire reclaims its destiny today. Marzal, still massaging his throat, nodded vigorously. Yes, High Commander. Shall I inform the War Council of your imminent arrival? Tell them, Vexor said, his voice dropping to a menacing purr, that the 3,000-year peace is over. And this time, no one will be laughing. As Marzal scurried away, Vexor turned back to the viewport, watching as the stars seemed to twinkle in response to his declaration. Especially not the humans, he whispered to himself, unaware that across the galaxy, in a small office on Earth, a junior communications officer was still chuckling at the pompous message they'd received from the Zenari. Hey Morgan, come look at this. The officer called out between bursts of laughter. The Zenari are threatening war again. Should we send them another? The War Council chamber aboard the Eternal Dominance hummed with tension as representatives from the galaxy's most formidable powers took their seats around a massive holographic table. The room itself was designed to intimidate. Stark metallic walls adorned with trophies from conquered civilizations, atmospheric lighting that cast everyone in a blood-red glow, and seats deliberately made uncomfortable for non-Zenari anatomies. Vexor strode in, his ceremonial armor clanking impressively with each step. The gathered aliens, a diverse collection of tentacles, exoskeletons, and appendages, immediately fell silent. Esteemed allies, Vexor began, though the word allies seemed to pain him physically. For too long, we have allowed the humans to dictate the terms of galactic peace. Today, that ends. General Kurtak of the CX Confederation, a hulking insectoid with mandibles that could crush titanium, clicked in agreement. My warriors grow soft from inaction. They yearn for the glory of combat. As do mine, purred Ambassador Zolan of the Yuan hierarchy, her feline features betraying a predatory anticipation. But the humans, their military capabilities are somewhat of a mystery. They've never fully displayed their arsenal during the peace years. Vexor gestured impatiently to Intelligence Director Plexel, a gaunt, gray-skinned being whose species prided themselves on their information-gathering abilities. Director, brief our friends on what we know of human military technology. Plexel activated the holographic display. Images of primitive human weapons, tanks, aircraft carriers, and missile systems rotated above the table. These are their most advanced weapons, Plexel declared with a dismissive wave, based on our latest intelligence from approximately 750 Earth years ago. A murmur rippled through the council. 750 years. Zolan's tail twitched skeptically. That seems rather outdated. The humans are technologically stagnant, Plexel assured her with absolute confidence. Their greatest advancement in the past millennium was something called streaming services. They spend most of their resources on entertainment, not warfare. The Dorian representative, a gelatinous mass named Blobgore, who communicated through color changes, pulsed a doubtful yellow. Our records indicate the humans were quite resourceful during the first contact wars. Blobgore's translator intoned. Vexor slammed a fist on the table. That was 3,000 years ago. They've grown complacent, soft. While we've been secretly developing the stellar annihilator, they've been watching something called cat videos. The council chamber erupted in what each species considered laughter, hisses, clicks, and in Blobgore's case, rapid colors cycling through pinks and purples. Their response to our formal grievance proves it. Vexor continued, activating a recording of the human transmission. A junior officer, barely containing their laughter as they delivered the now infamous "lol" response. See, they don't take us seriously. Vex Lore's voice rose to a near shriek. They mock us. General Kurtak's antenna quivered with rage. Unacceptable. We should strike immediately. And we shall, Vex Lore promised, bringing up a holographic display of Earth. Our combined fleets will converge here at their home world. We'll show these hairless apes the consequences of their disrespect. As the council roared its approval, none noticed Intelligence Director Plexel's slight hesitation, or the way his eyes lingered on a footnote in his datapad, a minor detail about human adaptability that had been omitted from the briefing. After all, why worry the council with trivialities when victory was so obviously assured? The Galactic Neutral Zone Space Station Harmony Point had hosted peace talks between warring species for millennia. Its impressive central chamber, a massive dome of transparent aluminum offering a breathtaking view of surrounding nebulae, had witnessed the signing of the Proxima Centauri Accords that established the 3,000-year peace. Today, it would witness that peace shatter. Vexor had insisted on delivering the declaration in person, a traditional honor among the Zenari. Flanked by General Kurtig and Ambassador Zolna, he marched down the station's main corridor, passing representatives from dozens of neutral species who scrambled to get out of their way. Remember, Vex Lore hissed to his companions, no matter what they say, we remain resolute. This is not a negotiation. This is us informing them of their doom. The massive doors to the chamber slid open. Inside, seated casually at the enormous round table, was a single human woman. No guards, no advisors, just her, sipping from a steaming mug that smelled offensively of roasted beans. Ambassador Chen, Vexor intoned formally, using the customary greeting despite his hatred. We come bearing the united will of the Zenari Empire, the CX Confederation, the Yuan Hierarchy, and the Dorian Collective. Ambassador Olivia Chen smiled pleasantly and gestured to the empty seats. High Commander Vex Lore, what a surprise. Please sit, coffee, tea. We just got this amazing blend from New Sumatra. Vex Lore remained standing, his posture rigid. We are not here for beverages or pleasantries, human. We are here to inform you that the peace between our civilizations is officially terminated. Chen took another sip from her mug, her expression unchanged. I'm sorry, what was that? We declare war on humanity, Kurtak bellowed, mandibles clicking furiously. The ambassador set down her mug. For a moment, there was complete silence in the chamber. Then Ambassador Chen did something entirely unexpected. She laughed. It started as a snicker, quickly evolved into a chuckle, and finally erupted into full-blown, table-slapping hysterics. Tears formed at the corners of her eyes as she fought to regain her composure. I'm sorry, she gasped between fits of laughter. It's just, oh my God, you're serious, aren't you? Vex Lore's skin darkened dangerously. You find the prospect of your species' extinction amusing. Ambassador Chen wiped her eyes, still fighting back giggles. No, of course not. It's just, wow, okay, give me a second. She took a deep breath, composed herself, then promptly burst into laughter again. Zolan's fur stood on end, a clear sign of aggression among the Yuans. This is outrageous. We have assembled the greatest fleet the galaxy has ever seen. I'm sure you have, Chen replied, finally regaining some composure, though her eyes still danced with amusement. And what exactly did we do to warrant this declaration? You destroyed our sacred moon of contemplation, Vexer roared. The mining accident. We sent a formal apology and offered reparations, Chen replied, suddenly looking confused. Your government rejected our offer, and then you mocked us with your all response. Kurtak added, his antenna vibrating with indignation. Chen's expression shifted to understanding. There seems to be a misunderstanding. That message wasn't an official response. One of our junior officers sent that by mistake. We've been trying to reach you through proper channels, but you've blocked all our communications. The three alien representatives exchanged uncomfortable glances. Nevertheless, Vex Lore pressed on. The decision has been made. Prepare your defenses, human. You have 48 of your Earth hours. As they turned to leave, Chen called after them. High Commander, please reconsider. This is completely unnecessary and, frankly, unwise. Vexer paused at the doorway. Are you threatening us? Ambassador Chen's smile faded, replaced by something that, for the briefest moment, sent an unexpected chill down Vex Lore's spine. Not at all, she said quietly. Just offering some friendly advice. As the alien delegation departed, Chen tapped her communicator. Central Command, it's Chen. You're not going to believe this, but I think we need to dust off Protocol Omega. Yes, the aliens are actually this stupid. No, I'm not kidding. And Jake, tell the Admiral he owes me 20 credits. I told him the Zenari would snap first. Master Infiltrator Krelthar of the Zenari Special Intelligence Division prided himself on his ability to blend in anywhere. His species' natural chameleonic abilities, combined with state-of-the-art holographic tech, made him the perfect spy. Yet, as he walked down a busy street in what the humans called New Singapore, he couldn't shake the feeling that he was woefully unprepared. Status report, came Vex Lore's impatient voice through the subdermal communicator. Infiltration successful. Krelthar subvocalized, adjusting his holographic disguise as a middle-aged human businessman. Though I must note, High Commander, that the planetary defenses were absent. A pause. Absent? Explain. I detected no orbital weapons platforms, no defensive shields, not even basic scanner arrays, Krell replied, narrowly avoiding collision with a human child on a floating skateboard. I simply landed at their spaceport. They stamped something called a tourist visa and welcomed me to Earth. The silence from Vex Lore spoke volumes. Continue reconnaissance, the High Commander finally ordered. This must be some kind of trap. Krelthar spent the next 48 hours observing humanity in their natural habitat. What he saw deeply disturbed him. First were the children, playing in parks with devices that, upon closer inspection, contained computing power that rivaled Zenari military-grade systems. When one child noticed him watching, instead of fleeing in terror as any sensible species would do from a stranger, the young human approached and offered him something called bubblegum. Then there were the adults. Krelthar infiltrated what he believed was a top-secret military installation, only to discover it was something called a gym, where humans voluntarily subjected themselves to physical tortures that would qualify as war crimes on 17 different planets. High Commander, Krelthar reported from his hotel room that evening, I've discovered something concerning about human physiology. They regularly poison themselves with ethanol and caffeine, known neurotoxins, seemingly to build immunity. As suspected, Vexer replied, they're preparing their bodies for chemical warfare. Krelthar wasn't so sure. Sir, with respect, they appear to be doing it for fun. But the most disturbing discovery came on the final day of his mission. Following a human wearing what he identified as a research laboratory insignia, Krelthar found himself inside a facility labeled Quantum Mechanics and Theoretical Applications. What he saw there stopped his three hearts simultaneously. Screens displayed equations that made mockery of his empire's understanding of physics. Models demonstrated energy manipulation on scales that should have been impossible. And in the center of the main laboratory, a small device, no larger than his fist, effortlessly held what appeared to be a miniature star. High Commander, Krelthar whispered urgently into his communicator, watching as human scientists casually walked past technology that could unmake worlds. We may have significantly miscalculated. Impossible. Vex lore snapped. Our intelligence reports are outdated, Krelthar interrupted, something he'd never dared do before. Sir, these humans, they're not broadcasting their capabilities. They're not hiding them either. They're just living with them like they're ordinary. Return immediately. Vexer ordered, his tone brooking no argument. The attack proceeds as planned. As Krelthar slipped away from the facility, a human researcher glanced up from her workstation, watched him leave, then tapped her earpiece. Protocol Omega Monitoring Station. Yeah, the Zenari spy is leaving. Did we give him enough to worry about? Great. No, the star in a jar was just our breakroom nightlight, but he totally bought it. The combined alien fleet hung in Earth's outer solar system like a swarm of metallic locusts minus 5,000 warships ranging from nimble fighter carriers to the massive dreadnoughts of the Zenari. They had assembled for what High Commander Vexlor had grandiosely named Operation Final Silence. On the bridge of the Eternal Dominance, Vexer surveyed his tactical displays with barely contained glee. Status report, he commanded, his forearms folded across his armored chest. All ships in position, High Commander, Lieutenant Marzel replied. The humans have made no attempt to intercept or communicate with our fleet. General Kurtak chittered nervously. No defensive maneuvers. No attempt to evacuate their population centers. This doesn't seem right. They're in denial, Vex Lord declared confidently. Begin the attack sequence. Launch the stellar obliterators. Throughout the fleet, launch bays opened like hungry maws, disgorging thousands of sleek missiles. Each contained enough antimatter to level a small city, the pride of Zenari weapons technology, developed in secret during the long peace. Missiles away, Marzel confirmed. Impact in 3, 2, 1. On view screens throughout the fleet, the missiles streaked toward Earth's atmosphere. Then something unexpected happened. A soft, shimmering field of light, almost invisible until the missiles made contact, enveloped the planet. The moment the stellar obliterators touched this field, they transformed, their deadly payloads neutralized. The missiles continued on new trajectories, exploding harmlessly in Earth's upper atmosphere in brilliant bursts of color. What is happening? Vex Lord demanded, his voice rising to a shriek. On the planet below, humans poured out of their homes, pointing skyward at what appeared to be, from their perspective, an impressive fireworks display. Their intelligence suggests, Plexel began hesitantly, that they've somehow converted our antimatter warheads into harmless light and sound. Impossible. Vex Lore slammed his fists on the console, cracking its surface. Launch everything. All weapons. The fleet complied. Particle beams, plasma torpedoes, gravity disruptors. The full might of 4 galactic powers unleashed upon a single world. And every attack met the same fate. Absorbed, redirected, or transformed into a spectacular light show. In New Singapore, Tokyo, and Nairobi, humans gathered in parks with picnic blankets and beverages, treating the alien attack like an unexpected festival. Children squealed with delight at particularly colorful explosions. Vendors quickly set up stalls selling Invasion Day shirts and snacks. High Commander, Communications Officer Draza interrupted, his voice quavering. We're receiving a transmission from Earth. On screen, Vexer growled, dreading what was to come. Ambassador Chen's face appeared, her expression one of polite concern. Behind her, humans were clearly visible enjoying what they should have experienced as apocalyptic destruction.